This book will give you example after example of people. Someone has diarrhea, takes it away. Constipation, takes it away. So many degenerative diseases just immediately. It's amazing. This is actually the book that got me to go raw overnight. I was working at MTV Networks in New York City. I didn't even know a raw food diet existed. Someone handed me this book. I couldn't believe what I was reading. It was actually telling me what refined sugars, what processed starches, what animal protein was doing to my body on a scientific level. It educated me, and I believed it. And that night, I read the entire book, and I put it down that night, and I went 100% raw 11 years ago, and I haven't looked back ever since then. Okay. Is there any more colon hydrotherapy that I want to talk about? I don't benefit from that. I don't get it. It's just from my experience. I mean, there might be other people that would say the total opposite, but I'm telling you, it's like the key. That's why the health food institutes use it. Why else? That's why their success rates are so high. I've seen where people just slightly improve their diets, where they're willing to do the colon hydrotherapy when they had a degenerative disease, and they pretty much healed based off of that. Last thing on colon hydrotherapy, I promise, and then I'm moving on. I've seen people, like on the standard American diet, they go 100% raw overnight. They lose 50 pounds, they have all this energy, they're doing great, but they're not willing to do the colon hydrotherapy, and as the many months go by, they start to lose that energy. And then their faces start to grow older and older. They're like bathing in their own waste, even if they're going 3 times a day. Now for a person like this, I'd rather say, either do the colon hydrotherapy and take it to the next level, or get off the whole cleansing raw food diet and do it a bit more slowly. Okay, that's that. So when you eat less and you start to detox and become cleaner, you start needing less and less food. You start to become more efficient, if that makes sense. And if you do colon hydrotherapy, this catapults you to the next level. And you've got to be careful about that, because if you do colon hydrotherapy on a consistent basis, all those other past food choices, it's going to happen faster. They're going to become more damaging to you quicker. It takes you to the next level quick. That's how powerful it is. The ultimate beauty secret is to do the green juice while doing the colon hydrotherapy. Yeah. If you do those two together, watch out. So I never had, I didn't have any health challenges. I was never into a spiritual lifestyle. I went raw overnight, and the 100% raw food diet threw me into spirituality. I mean, I was seriously president of my fraternity in college. I was never into this thing. And I'm like talking the #1 partying fraternity that you can possibly imagine. It was crazy. And the 100% raw food diet, I went 100% raw overnight in New York City. And before I knew it, I had all these zits on my face, and my nose was pouring out like crazy. And I was walking back and forth to the bathroom nonstop. And I was like, this sucks. And this is where I discovered colon hydrotherapy. I would get a colonic, and while I was on the table, I don't care, I was on the table, while I was on the table, like the mucus just disappeared. Like I was breathing in, it went like straight to my brain and my lungs, prana, air, whatever you want to call it. It was like this orgasmic bliss. The next day, all my zits went away. I slept so well, it was just crazy. And after about, day 8, 9, 10, after that colonic, my zits started to come back. My nose started pouring in. I was walking back and forth to the bathroom, so I booked another colonic. And I did this every 10 days for 6 months. That's 3 times a month. You would think a young guy like me would be completely cleaned out after I did something like that. Well, I did a psyllium bentonite cleanse right here by Bernard Jensen. Has anybody ever taken psyllium bentonite before? If anybody's ever taken that, it's pretty hardcore on the body, and they don't really like to do something like that. Well, this is the most extreme one you could possibly do. It's known to get the mucoid plaque out. Psyllium is a strong fiber husk that has the potential to rip it out. 7 days you eat no food. You take psyllium bentonite 5 times a day, every 7 days. Every day of this cleanse, you do a colonic in the morning and in the evening of this cleanse to keep it all moving through. This whole process is key. My colon hydrotherapist could not believe what was coming out of my body. It was just absolutely insane. And something happened to me after that last colonic. I got all that mucoid plaque and black stuff out of me. Something happened I've never experienced in my entire life. I started to get a vibration right there. And I had no idea what it was. I mean, I was like, whoa. I closed my eyes, I'd be saying things. Nobody knew what I was talking about. I talked to raw food authors, and I went to the bookstore, and they were like, I'm like, where's the spiritual section? I started reading, I came across like all these different religions and ideas, meditation, and I came across the chakra system, and I realized this was the third eye chakra. I would tell my family and my brother what was going on here. I'm like, I've got the third eye chakra going on. Big mistake. They thought I was like malnourishing myself and I was getting all these tingly vibrations everywhere. But Norman Walker actually gave an explanation. The pineal gland is located right here. He gave a scientific explanation. It's the organ that receives that universal cosmic energy. And I've been experiencing it ever since then.